Hi, I'm Belinda. Welcome to RenovAID, the show where we help needy families renew, rebuild, and revitalize their homes.
We are allergic to dust mite. He will have this intensity at night. He do know how to control it. If I never hold his hand throughout the night, the next day I will see the whole bed full of blood stain. When he bleed his skin, he take many months to heal. That is very depressing.
Worn out from caregiving, a couple fights a losing battle against dirt, dust, and clutter.
I keep having more. I keep on clean, he come back. I keep on clean, come back. I cannot clean anymore.
Flora and her son suffer from chronic eczema, and anything from dust mites to mold can aggravate their condition. With their son requiring constant care, she and her husband, Mahadzir, face an uphill task trying to maintain their home. Can RenovAID offer a solution to their problems? For Flora, her medical woes started shortly after she gave birth. She developed chronic eczema, but then the steroid medication she used caused a cataract to form in her left eye. Although it's been treated, she can't see well. On top of it all, she also suffers from disc degeneration in her lower back. But Flora can't afford to let her medical issues get her down.
Especially now I'm a sole breadwinner. It's very important. I have to work extra hard. I also don't want my family issue to affect my work. Yeah, my productivity I have to maintain.
Since their son Martin was hospitalized after a severe viral infection in 2015, his eczema became worse. He would be hospitalized 4 times in a year to battle the recurring skin infection. And every time he was hospitalized, he would spend at least 2 months in the wards. It was a trying period for both parents as they saw how tired and thin he got.
Oh, I cry day and night. cry, yeah. Very sad, like, on top of he have this delay and communication difficulties. Sometimes when he wants something that he didn't know how to tell us, he very frustrating. Sometimes he will just cry. On top of crying, he just scratch, bleed. When he bleed his skin, he take many months to heal. That is very depressing.
For chronic eczema sufferers, their skin tend to dry out and flake off. These can potentially become dust-borne irritants, which can cause their condition to flare up. This is why both Flora and Mahadzir try their best to keep their flat clean, making sure to vacuum and wipe down open surfaces as much as possible. But Flora can't touch water without being stung, or do any heavy housework without her skin breaking open. So Mahadzir has to shoulder most of the housework despite having chronic back issues of his own.
From morning till night, I got other chores to do. I need to cook, I need to wash, I need to especially take care of my son. Over the years, I only focus on the health for my son and my wife. I sad to say that I neglected the house.
The couple can't even rest at night as they need to keep watch over their son.
He will have this intensity at night. He do know how to control it. If I never hold his hand throughout the night, the next day I will see the whole bed full of blood stain. His strength is quite strong, so I hold down. So that is why it's overused the wrist. So that is how I got this carpal tunnel. Every day I just sleep for 1 hour and then I'll go to work and come back for 7 years.
You need to attend a child with 24/7, bounds to not enough sleep, not enough rest, not enough eat. Then on top of that, it will lead to frustration, and then tiredness will kick in.
For the couple, managing Martin's skin takes precedence over their own needs. Mahadzir even shuttles to Martin's school every few hours to apply cream on his skin. They need to make sure his skin won't dry out, break open, and get infected.
I need to help him because no one else can. Even though we ever try to engage a maid, but I worry that the maid also have no patience to take care of him. So I'm the only best person who can take care of him and the safest one.
They have never thought to get help from social service agencies until recently.
Because of the high care needs, it's very draining for them. Martin, because of his speech and language delay, school fees can be very expensive. So financially, we try to kind of alleviate their financial stresses by trying to apply for subsidies for them. Their living condition is causing a lot of distress for the family. Madam Flora has to keep telling Martin, don't go there, don't touch this, don't climb so high, don't go too close because things might fall on you. So the living environment can really pose a safety hazard and it might seem like a minefield for Martin. So yeah, I think the family will really benefit from like a renovation or a home makeover.
Interior designer Norman is our man for the job. We hope this 20-year veteran can make the family's home a functional one.
Hi, Flora. Hi, I'm Belinda.
I'm Norman.
I actually hear something dropping from there. Is this a sound of clutter?
Yes,
it is. It's okay, no problem.
Wow. I work from home station. My mouse, calculator, my laptop.
This is classic, man. The calculator all in plastic bag. Even the mouse also in the plastic bag.
I need to keep it clean.
Norman and I spot the scrawlings on the wall. It seems that Flora's work area is also where Martin lets his creativity loose.
11 this year.
He's at 11 this year.
Yeah.
Still drawing.
Still drawing because of his health condition. That's
Right.
what the child psychologist said, that he let out stress on the body and the mind. It's how he output his stress.
According to Flora, the table also serves as their dining area as well as Martin's study desk.
The chair has broken as well. Why is it that you don't have any other dining chairs, a dining table in the house except for this one? And I can see that this one is like scotch tape all over. It looks like it's been used to a point that it's about to collapse, but you are still using it.
Yeah. I try to save as much as possible. If can save, I save it
For
medical expenses.
whose medical expenses?
Whole family. And
Okay,
the
and-
speech delay therapy, all this.
Right. They all cost a lot of money.
Flora shares with me that most of the medical supplies her son needs on a daily basis are not subsidized. The medical and therapy expenses can eat up as much as 60 to 80% of a monthly salary.
There are so many things to look into, especially when it comes to their health. It's not just one person suffering from a health condition or health conditions. It's all family members having health conditions.
He don't have childhood because all his childhood are spent on the skin issue. Whole day itchy, cannot play. When he bleed his skin, he take many months to heal. That is very depressing.
I noticed that you've been scratching. You see, all these are new wounds.
It just break itself sometimes.
Yeah.
It's very dry and break.
And it's not just her hands, but it's almost the entire body.
Because sometimes I scratch, the skin will freak. I have to keep the house very clean, so every moment I have to vacuum. My son and myself hospitalized many times due to skin infection and virus. So I am very paranoid. I need to be very
Careful, right?
It's sad for me to see all this. Condition of their house, everything is actually not that bad, but due to their health condition, skin issue, then I think for our environmental triggers them that cause their skin furthermore damage.
Are you a hoarder or not?
I'm not hot. Never not hot.
Never, You having all these things in the living room is because
I want to keep everything clean and neat and wrap out without dust mite. So my son cannot enter there also.
cannot enter here.
No one let him enter here because Wherever he can go, everywhere, I clean it. Very clean.
This puzzles me because it seems that the clutter here only leads to more dust to build up.
This was a room before.
This was a nice profile room. No storage because of the medical supplies. Plus, I need to clear the room for him as clean as possible. That's why all the toys I bring out here.
These items seem like a sad reminder of broken dreams. Flora and her husband had expected their son Martin to lead an ordinary childhood, not one spent on being sick and seeking treatment.
Do you have problems with the floor?
Yeah, because I got a lot of blister, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I try to prevent stepping, avoid the pain of my blister, right? Sometimes I will sleep. Sometimes I got cut, I cannot localize my pain. So until I see the floor full of blood, then I say, oh, okay, I got cut.
To keep dust from building up, Flora has mostly kept the windows closed. However, the design of the flat is not helping.
Cold light plumber will collect dust inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
不可以。
can literally see the floating come down. So,
Oh,
I'm so helpless.
is it?
Next, we're headed for Martin's room. But before I even enter the room, I can see a huge tape running across the floor.
All this broken, I also try to tape it because whenever I mop, I
You cut yourself.
cut myself.
Okay.
So I sleep here, I knock. Also, there's one chip here. I just tape it. Yeah. I sleep here. My husband sleep here. My son sleep there.
You mean this is your sleeping room?
Because sometimes I need to manage him in case at night
Yeah.
he scratch very, then I can hold his hand.
What do you sleep on? Like you sleep on tilam or?
No, I stay on the floor with the mat only. Just
For many years
to
already.
easy maintenance because we are allergic to dust mite.
She's got scotch tape everywhere. Display cabinets, on the floor. Everywhere that she doesn't want dust to get in, where there is a damage, something that is broken, she will use tape to tape them. And that's like a temporary solution.
Okay, this is the master bedroom.
I'm taken aback by what I see here. The master bedroom is used more as a storeroom and a pantry for dried goods. Here in the walk-in wardrobe, clothes that should be hung up on the rails are placed in trash bags.
It's exposed. Whatever we hang here will get dust because there's no door.
Okay.
This is a master bedroom toilet.
And close
Stop
it.
using it.
Why?
I keep having more. I keep on clean, it come back. I keep on clean, it come back until a certain time I cannot clean anymore. So I stop using it. I totally close it. Cannot use.
What's more, the toilet bowl can't be flushed. With the bathtub not functioning as well, the master bathroom has fallen into disuse, accumulating dust.
I don't know what this can.
Worm.
No. So sorry I screamed so loudly, because I really thought it was just a speck of dust or something. I wasn't expecting it to be a piece of living thing.
This is the kitchen.
Wow, it seems to me that the kitchen feels extremely cramped,
Yeah.
very tight because of this part.
Yes.
This island.
This is basically the laundry area.
That's a lot of clothes.
Rubbish.
So how do you differentiate the rubbish and your clothes? Because they're all in bags.
Clothes over here. This one is the dryer. That is
Yes.
antibacterial. Every day we have to bring the pillow here to dry. All these are antibacterial. All the things wash then dry, wash then dry. So electrical bill very high every day. Because we change clothes many times.
Because of the skin condition.
Yeah, my son changed. And then his medical suit also need to wash every day.
Wow.
The only functioning toilet in the flat is a constant source of frustration for Flora and her husband. To prevent dust and bugs from entering their home and triggering Martin's and Flora's eczema, they keep their windows shut. However, the lack of ventilation means moisture is trapped and mold sets in. Despite their efforts to clear out the mold on the ceiling, it just keeps coming back and they're getting tired.
I see many toys in the house. Many. Can I ask, did Martin get a chance to use them and play with them?
No.
Why not?
He don't have childhood because all his childhood are spent on the skin issue. Whole day itchy, cannot play. Even in class, he have to write and then scratch. He cannot focus.
Right.
So all these
Toys.
have to on hold. Cannot
These
enjoy.
toys.
Can't even go playground.
If we remove all the clutter, I can see that there's a lot of effort put into the design of the house.
This house was mostly designed by my husband, and he tried to design as childproof as possible.
Why did you sigh?
Sad lah, yeah. After a child, if normally can bring them out and enjoy all the toys, our life come out to not what we have expected. So have to accept.
I sense that you have been trying your very best to be strong, bubbly, and happy, but I think deep down you're falling apart. It was very difficult to listen to her story and not feel anything. So it wasn't just me who felt it, but Norman felt it too. Norman was trying to hold back his tears, especially when she was scratching away, and the house is falling apart, they have health issues, and it becomes a living hell.
Doing cleaning all over the house, it's like shifting to the Mars.
My son and myself hospitalized many times due to skin infection and virus. So I am very paranoid. I need to be very, very
Careful, right?
Norman has a humongous task ahead of him. He needs to be mindful of the medical conditions of Flora and family while creating a functional home.
So I'm very, very excited about the 3D presentation. So where do we start?
We can start through the layout.
I can hardly recognize the flat with its new design. With the clutter gone, Norman intends to carve out separate dining and living areas in the main hall.
What made you choose this dining table?
These dining tables and the bench and the chairs, it have a round edge.
Child-friendly.
Yeah, child-friendly, and it won't cause any sharp edges which Madam Flora may
Hurt herself.
scratch herself or Martin may scratch.
With storage always an issue for the family, Norman will be installing new cabinets while retaining a small area for Mahadzir to display his favorite items.
Currently, they don't have any grills.
Yes, no window grills, yes.
For them. Yeah,
Are we gonna have
find
window grills?
something whereby it's quite interesting in the market. It's a window limited for them to limit the window.
This is a very good idea because with grills, that means more cleaning. And with this safety function, I think it's going to be a very good feature for them. But I also have a very strong feeling that Flora is going to try to keep her windows closed most of the time because it's all about the environment, air pollution.
Norman has decided to use a TV console to partition the dining and living areas. But somehow, I don't really agree with the idea.
It's like a divider, but it's not, it feels a little bit restrictive. With a TV as a divider of the house, with all the wires hanging at the back, no matter how neatly you try to keep them, it's still an eyesore.
In terms of color palette for the flat, Norman wishes to go for neutral tones to create a more soothing environment. Even the blue walls he has selected for Martin's room are leaning towards the light pastels.
Martin like in blue. I found blue color matched with grey colors. This is the wardrobe which we will be doing new for him, and I try to match the frame with grey color and cream color.
So soft.
Norman also shares that he won't be changing the layout of the master bedroom.
I have a little bit of issue over here. It's because I remember everything is in bags. I'm just thinking if it's possible to come up with the best solution for them so that she gets privacy and she also gets to, take her clothes out from some closed wardrobe.
As for the kitchen area, it is specifically tailored for the family's lifestyle.
I try to plan what they need for their new lifestyle so that they can do their bakings if they wanted, more areas for storage,
Yes.
and the dishwasher for them.
Given the family's sensitivity to airborne irritants, Norman has been sourcing for antibacterial and eco-friendly flooring and surfaces. For the wet areas in the two toilets, he hopes to use a material which should prevent mold from growing on the cabinets.
This 100% waterproof board and 100% termite proof, and this is very, very durable and easy maintenance as well.
Yeah, I think this is what we really, really need, because we don't want termites. Thank you so much. I can't wait for the day of the reveal. Today we're helping Flora and her family move out of their flat. So Team RenovAID, let's do our best, okay? Are you guys ready to start work? Yeah! Fantastic, let's go. Come on.
When I enter the flat, it seems that the family is not ready to move out. Martin still needs some time to take his breakfast.
For the past many days, many nights, doing cleaning all over the house. It's like shifting to the Mars. We did throw out a lot of stuff, about 6, 7, 8 bins, with the help of my friends and social worker and so on.
Unfortunately, there is still much to do.
A lot of things that haven't been packed, so we spent a lot of time on packing for them and also keeping a lot of things in the storeroom also. Okay, so this is the first time I also saw the air purifier being turned on throughout the whole packing and also storing at the same time.
Wow, the day was quite challenging. My plan initially was to make sure that we get Flora and Martin out of the house as soon as possible. Then we will keep Mahadzir in the house to direct us, to tell us what is to keep and what is to throw.
But Flora and Martin prefer to wait for Mahadzir. So we have them cooped up in the bedroom, away from all the dirt and dust.
Flora just did a little bit of packing, whatever she could, in the bedroom. She came out with bandaged fingers.
It's all broken now, so very painful to bandage it.